Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs first revamped cabinet meeting after reshuffle. Over 23,000 crore rupees package announced for emergency response to COVID-19. Cabinet also approves proposal of allowing agriculture produce market committees to use 1 lakh crore rupees agriculture infrastructure fund announced as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Prime Minister interacts with directors of centrally funded technical institutions, says that access, affordability, equity and quality should be core values of education models. Prime Minister asserts Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan will form basis of dreams and aspirations of India in coming 25 years. Newly inducted union ministers assume charge of the ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge of both information and broadcasting and sports ministries. Nearly 37 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%. Defence Ministry implements web-based integrated system for sanction and disbursement of defence pension. Japan declares state of emergency 2 weeks ahead of Tokyo Olympics. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty storms into the women's singles final, beating Angelique Kerber. And in Eurocup football, England to clash with Italy in the final at Wembley Stadium on Sunday. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise the young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise the listeners not to lower the guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news. The Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi today approved a new scheme, India COVID-19 Emergency Response and Health System Preparedness Package Phase 2, amounting to 23,123 crore rupees for financial year 2021-22. Addressing media after the Union Cabinet meeting in New Delhi, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya said that this scheme aims at accelerating health system preparedness for immediate responsiveness for early prevention, detection and management with a focus on health infrastructure development. It also includes pediatric care and with measurable outcomes. He said Phase 2 will be implemented from 1st of July 2021 to 31st March 2022 with central and state share. He said the central share of the project will be 15,000 crore rupees and state share will be 8,123 crore rupees.
पैकेज 2 में कुल मिला के 23,123 करोड़ रुपीस का एक पैकेज है। ये पैकेज में कुल मिला के केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार दोनों साथ में मिलके उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करेंगे और ये पैसा स्टेट को दिया जाएगा। केंद्र सरकार की ओर से 15,000 करोड़ रुपीस दिया जाएगा और राज्य सरकार 8,000 करोड़ रुपीस निकालेगी।
The Union Cabinet has decided to make amendments to the Coconut Development Board Act 1979 and make it more efficient to carry out the activities of farming and production of coconut. Addressing media in New Delhi, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said that with this decision now, the chairman of the board will be a non-executive person but will be the person having the knowledge and experience of agriculture sector. Mr. Tomar said the Coconut Development Board will now carry out the activities related to the development of coconut outside the country too. In another decision, Mr. Tomar informed that the Union Cabinet has also approved the proposal of allowing the Agriculture Produce Market Committees, APMCs, to use the 1 lakh crore rupees Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, which has been announced as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Mr. Tomar said now APMCs will be eligible to get the benefits of this fund to improve their infrastructure. He said APMCs will be further strengthened and mandis will not be abolished.
एपीएमसी खत्म नहीं होंगी। कृषि कानून लागू होने के बाद भी कृषि उपज मंडी को करोड़ों रुपए का साधन भारत सरकार की ओर से इस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड में से उपलब्ध कराया जाएगा, जिससे वो सशक्त होंगी, उनके आय के साधन बनेंगे और अधिक किसानों के लिए वो उपयोग में आ सकेगी।
Mr. Tomar said these decisions shows the Narendra Modi government's commitment towards farmers' welfare. This was the first meeting of the revamped cabinet after reshuffle.
The Union Cabinet has approved the Memorandum on Cooperation MOC between the Competition Commission of India CCI and the Japan Fair Trade Commission JFTC to promote and strengthen cooperation in the matter of competition law and policy. The approved MOC through exchange of information will enable the CCI to emulate and learn from the experiences and lessons of its counterpart competition agency in Japan, which would enhance efficiency. The same will help improve enforcement of the Competition Act 2002 by the CCI. The resultant outcomes will benefit consumers at large and will promote equity and inclusiveness. The Union Cabinet also approved the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between the Institute of Cost Accountants of India ICOAI and the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants ACCA United Kingdom. The MOU will provide mutual advanced entry to the members of both the institutes through exemptions from appearing in majority of papers to acquire the qualification of the other professional body and to undertake joint research. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized the need to progress towards education models that are flexible, seamless and able to provide learning opportunities as per the requirements of the learners. He said that access, affordability, equity and quality should be the core values of such education models. Mr. Modi stated this while interacting with directors of centrally funded technical institutions through video conferencing today. He said there is a need to adapt higher education and technical education to keep in tune with the changing environment and the emerging challenges. The Prime Minister added that this requires the institutions to reinvent and re-evaluate themselves, develop alternative and innovative models in accordance with the present and the future needs of the country and the society. He emphasized that the country's higher educational and technical institutions need to prepare the youth for continuous disruptions and changes, keeping in mind the fourth industrial revolution. Appreciating the improvement in the gross enrollment ratio GER in higher education in the past few years, the Prime Minister emphasized that digitization of higher education can play a big role in increasing GER and students will have easier access to good quality and affordable education. He also lauded the various initiatives taken by the institutions to increase digitization and stressed the need to develop an ecosystem of technological education in Indian languages and translate global journals into regional languages. The Prime Minister said that Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan will form the basis of dreams and aspirations of India in the coming 25 years when the country celebrates 100 years of independence. He added that technological R&D institutions will play a major role in the upcoming decade, which is also being called as India's decade. He highlighted that it is important there is good quality infrastructure in higher educational institutions to ensure that products associated with artificial intelligence, smart wearables, augmented reality systems and digital assistants reach the common man. He asked to focus on affordable, personalized and AI-driven education. More than 100 heads of institutions joined the Prime Minister for this interaction. During the interaction, Professor Govindan Rangarajan of IISc Bangalore, Professor Subhasis Chaudhary of IIT Bombay, Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy of IIT Madras and Professor Abhay Karandikar of IIT Kanpur gave presentations to the Prime Minister and highlighted various ongoing projects, academic work and new research being done in the country. He was also apprised about the COVID-related research.
Several newly inducted union ministers took charge of the offices today. Yesterday, 43 ministers were sworn in to the Union Council of Ministers. They included 15 cabinet ministers and 28 ministers of state. Mr. Anurag Thakur assumed the charge of Information and Broadcasting Minister. After taking charge, Mr. Thakur said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done remarkable work in the last 7 years. The minister said he will work to fulfill the expectations and responsibilities given to him as the Information and Broadcasting Minister. Minister of State for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, also assumed his office. He thanked the Prime Minister for giving adequate representation of people of Tamil Nadu in his cabinet. Mr. Anurag Thakur also assumed the charge of Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports. He said government will take every possible step to promote the sports culture in the country.
जिन्होंने मेरे ऊपर युवाओं को लेकर और खेलों को लेकर एक नई जिम्मेदारी दी है, ये उनका विश्वास है और उनका खेलों के प्रति जो प्यार और भारत को खेलों में आगे बढ़ाने के लगातार जो उन्होंने मुहिम चलाई है, मैं प्रयास करूंगा जहां पर किरण जी लेकर गए थे उससे आगे उसको लेकर जाएं। सारी टीम के साथ मिलकर देश भर में खेलों को बढ़ाने का काम करेंगे।
Nishit Pramanik took charge as Minister of State in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Mr. Mansukh Mandavia took charge as Health and Family Welfare Minister. In the newly formed cabinet, Mr. Mandavia has also been allocated the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. After assuming the charge, the minister said he will work as per the expectations of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Union Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar, also assumed office. Piyush Goyal took charge as the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and Minister of Textiles. Dharmendra Pradhan assumed charge of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and Rajiv Chandrasekhar took office as the Minister of State MOS of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Mr. Chandrasekhar has an M.Tech in Computer Science from Illinois Institute of Technology, along with Advanced Management Program from Harvard University. Dr. Jitendra Singh has assumed charge of the Ministry of Earth Sciences as Minister of State Independent Charge. Mr. Ashwani Vaishnav took charge as the Railways Communication, Electronics and Information Technology Minister. Mr. Vaishnav said he will work for transforming the railways, which is a major part of Prime Minister's vision.
मैं सबसे पहले प्रधानमंत्री जी को धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इतनी बड़ी जिम्मेदारी दी है। प्रधानमंत्री जी का विजन रेलवे के लिए जैसे जन जन तक ट्रांसफॉर्म हो लोगों की लाइफ, एक आम आदमी, एक गरीब, एक वंचित, एक किसान, पिछड़े से पिछड़े व्यक्ति को भी रेलवे के बेनिफिट मिले, ऐसा उनका बड़ा विजन है। तो इस विजन के लिए मैं काम करूंगा और प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए मेहनत करूंगा।
The minister said his vision for railways is to transform the lives of the people so that everyone gets the benefit of railways. He is a former IAS of the 1994 batch and is particularly known for his contribution to PPP framework in infrastructure. He has an MBA from Wharton School, Pennsylvania, and M.Tech from IIT Kanpur. Union Minister of State for Railways Darshana Vikram Jardosh and Rao Saheb Danve also assumed office in Rail Bhavan today. Mr. Kiran Rijiju took charge as the Law and Justice Minister. On this occasion, the minister said this is a huge challenge for him and a big responsibility to discharge the function of law and justice. He said creating a robust legal system in the country is a part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of making Atmanirbhar Bharat. Mr. G. Kishan Reddy took charge as the Culture and Tourism Minister. Mr. Reddy has also been allocated the Minister of Development of North Eastern Region. Union Minister of State for Culture Meenakshi Lekhi and Arjun Ram Meghwal also assumed office today. Hardeep Puri assumed the charge of Ministry of Petroleum and said he will work towards development of a natural gas-based economy in the country and increase the share of natural gas in primary energy mix of the country to 15% by 2030. Assuming the charge as Cabinet Minister in the Ministry of Power and New and Renewable Energy, Raj Kumar Singh said that the Prime Minister has shown great confidence and he will live up to that. Ramchandra Prasad Singh took charge of Minister of Steel. He is a retired IAS officer of the 1984 batch and an alumnus of Jawaharlal Nehru University. Purushottam Rupala took charge as the Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Bhupendra Yadav took charge as Environment Minister and Labour Minister, and Pashupati Kumar Paras took charge as Food Processing Industries Minister. Giriraj Singh has taken charge as Minister of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, and Phaggan Singh Kulaste has taken over as the Minister of State for Rural Development. John Barla took charge as Minister of State for Minority Affairs. Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh and Meenakshi Lekhi also took charge as the Minister of State, and the Minister of External Affairs, Krishnapal Gurjar, took charge as the Minister of State for Power.
India's cumulative COVID vaccine coverage has reached nearly 37 crore. The Union Health Ministry said more than 36,08,000 vaccine doses have been administered today. The new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination commenced from the 21st of last month. The ministry said 17,93,000 vaccine doses were administered as the first dose, and over 1,71,000 vaccine doses were given as the second dose in the age group of 18 to 44 years today. Cumulatively, over 10 crore 82 lakh persons in the age group of 18 to 44 years across 37 states and union territories have received their first dose, and more than 33,70,000 have received their second dose since the start of phase 3 of the vaccination drive. 8 states, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Gujarat, Karnataka and Maharashtra have administered more than 50 lakh first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine in the age group of 18 to 44 years. The recovery rate in the country is now at 97.18%. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs first revamped cabinet meeting after reshuffle over 23,000 crore rupees package announced for emergency response to COVID-19. Cabinet also approves proposal of allowing agriculture produce market committees to use 1 lakh crore rupees agriculture infrastructure fund announced as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Prime Minister interacts with directors of centrally funded technical institutions, says that access, affordability, equity and quality should be core values of education models. Prime Minister asserts Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan will form basis of dreams and aspirations of India in the upcoming 25 years. Newly inducted union ministers assume charge of their ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge of both information and broadcasting and sports ministries. Nearly 37 crore vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%. Defence Ministry implements web-based integrated system for sanction and disbursement of defence pension. Japan declares state of emergency 2 weeks ahead of Tokyo Olympics. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty storms into women's singles final, beating Angelique Kerber. And in Euro Cup football, England clash with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे. The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back. You're listening to the evening news. The External Affairs Ministry today said the government's current focus continues to be on purposing domestic production towards India's domestic vaccination program. Briefing media, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said government is also actively pursuing enhancement of vaccine availability through imports, which has helped increase the pace of vaccination in recent weeks. Regarding Covaxin approval by WHO, the spokesperson said government continues to monitor the progress. He also hoped that individual countries would increasingly recognize made in India vaccines. Replying to a query on CoWIN app, Mr. Bagchi said the CoWIN Global Conclave was convened earlier this week, which was addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other dignitaries. He said this was an opportunity to offer to the world India's indigenously developed digital platform, which is open source that can be shared with all. Uttar Pradesh government is working on the concept of one district, one medical college, and very soon Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 9 medical colleges in the state, which are now complete. The state today also achieved another milestone and administered maximum number of doses of COVID vaccine in the country. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath today directed officials to complete all works related to the 9 medical colleges, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. These colleges are in Mirzapur, Ghazipur, Devaria, Hardoi, Pratapgarh, Etah, Fatehpur, Siddharthnagar and Jaunpur districts.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today said the relations between Russia and India have been among the steadiest of the major relationships in the world after the Second World War. In his speech on India-Russia ties in a changing world at IMEMO Moscow, the minister said that the undeniable reality of the exceptional resilience of India-Russia ties is surely a phenomenon that is worth analyzing. He said the big issues of these times are combating terrorism, addressing pandemics, and acting on climate change. India today said that Pakistan should focus on setting its house in order and take credible and verifiable action against terrorism emanating from its soil. Replying to a query on claim that India is behind blast in Lahore, the External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said it is not new for Pakistan to engage in baseless propaganda against India.
It is not new for Pakistan to engage in baseless propaganda against India. Pakistan would do well to expend the same effort in setting its own house in order and taking credible and verifiable action against terrorism emanating from its soil and terrorists who have found safe sanctuaries there. The international community is well aware of Pakistan's credentials when it comes to terrorism. This is acknowledged by none other than its own leadership, which continues to glorify terrorists like Osama bin Laden as martyrs.
The External Affairs Ministry today said India is carefully monitoring the deteriorating security situation in Afghanistan and its implication on safety and security of the Indian nationals in the country. Briefing media today, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said the Indian embassy in Kabul and consulates in Kandahar and Mazar-e-Sharif are functional. He said India's responses will be calibrated accordingly depending on how the situation evolves. This is All India Radio, giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
दुनिया रंग बिरंगी, खट्टे मीठे रसीले समाचारों का सतरंगी खजाना आकाशवाणी पर। खबरें होंगी हटकर, जानेंगे कुछ अलग, हंसेंगे खुलकर, करेंगे सजग। सुनना न भूलें सोमवार और मंगलवार आज सवेरे तथा शनिवार और रविवार कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में।
Defence Ministry has implemented Sparsh, an integrated system for automation of sanction and disbursement of defence pension. This web-based system processes pension claims and credits pension directly into the bank accounts of defence pensioners without relying on any external intermediary. The ministry said Pensioner Portal is available for pensioners to view the pension-related information, access services and register complaints for redressal of grievances. Japan has declared a state of emergency in Tokyo, which will run throughout the Olympic Games to combat COVID-19. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga informed the media that it would remain in place until 22nd of August. One of the minister announced bars and restaurants will not be allowed to serve alcohol and must close by 2000 local time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said a new package of more than 23,000 crore rupees has been approved to further strengthen the fight against COVID. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that under this, necessary arrangements like pediatric care units to ICU beds, oxygen storage, ambulances and medicines will be made in all the districts of the country.
Listeners from all corners of the country are participating in the Olympic quiz of AIR News. To participate in the Olympic quiz, tune in to our Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m.
In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its Sports Scan program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz Akashvani Samachar ke saath in Hindi. Every day a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in SportsScan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. The Sports Authority of India will provide India team jersey to the winner. So tune in to the SportsScan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.
Only a few days are left for the Tokyo Olympics. Today we will talk about female boxer Pooja Rani Vohra in the special Olympic series of All India Radio.
Female boxer Pooja Rani Vohra is a strong contender to win a medal in the Tokyo by making her punches at the opponent. Many achievements are recorded in name of Pooja. Pooja achieved tremendous success in the Senior National Championships in 2012. In the 2013 Asian Championship, Pooja won a silver medal. Pooja won the gold medal in the 2019 Bangkok Asian Championship. In the last 8 of the Olympic qualifier tournament held in Jordan, Pooja defeated boxer of Thailand and got a ticket to Tokyo. Pooja makes a different strategy for every match and she had a special strategy for that important quarter final as well.
क्वार्टर फाइनल बाउट थी और वो जो थाईलैंड के साथ थी, तो मैं उस बॉक्सर का मुझे पता भी नहीं था वो कैसे खेलती है। तो मैंने कोच साहब से बात भी की कि सर मुझे पता नहीं है वो कैसे खेलती है, तो इन्होंने मेरे को बताया कि शुरू में जाके तुझे अटैक नहीं करना है, थोड़ी देर उसको देखना है और फिर सेकंड राउंड में तेरे समझ में आ जाएगी कि कैसे खेलना है।
Pooja is preparing fiercely for Tokyo. Along with her fitness, she is also working on her speed, how to sharpen her defense and how to bring herself at the attacking mode.
टाइम मेरा ओलंपिक के लिए क्वालिफाई हुआ है, तो मैं अपनी तरफ से कोई ऐसी कमी नहीं छोड़ना चाहती। मैं बाद में मुझे ऐसा ना हो कि मैंने ट्रेनिंग नहीं की या फिर मैं और कर सकती थी।
Pooja's coach Sanjay Sheron is confident that Pooja is a strong contender for a medal in Tokyo.
पूजा के पास एक्सपीरियंस है, पहले भी इसने वर्ल्ड चैंपियन को बीट किया है, एशिया चैंपियन रही है, एशियन गेम में मेडल रहा है, तो हमें उम्मीद है कि पूजा वहाँ से पदक लेके आएगी।
Pooja has made her intentions clear by winning the gold medal once again in the Asian Championship held in Dubai this year.
मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं अपने देश के लिए मेडल ला।
With her superb form, Pooja is ready to create a history in Tokyo. Diksha Saxena, Sports Desk.
In Wimbledon tennis, Australian world number 1 Ashley Barty beat 2018 winner Angelique Kerber of Germany 6-3, 7-6 in the women's singles semi-final this evening to reach the final. Second semi-final match is underway between second seed Irina Sabalenka and 8th seed Karolina Pliskova. In Eurocup football, England will clash with Italy in the final at the Wembley Stadium, London on Sunday.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs first revamped cabinet meeting after reshuffle over 23,000 crore rupees package announced for emergency response to COVID-19. Cabinet also approves proposal of allowing agriculture produce market committees to use 1 lakh crore rupees agriculture infrastructure fund announced as part of Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Prime Minister interacts with directors of centrally funded technical institutions, says that access, affordability, equity and quality should be core values of education models. Prime Minister asserts Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan will form basis of dreams and aspirations of India in coming 25 years. Newly inducted Union ministers assume charge of the ministries. Anurag Thakur takes charge of both information and broadcasting and sports ministries. Nearly 37 crore vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.18%. Defence Ministry implements web-based integrated system for sanction and disbursement of defence pension. Japan declares state of emergency 2 weeks ahead of Tokyo Olympics. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty storms into the women's singles final, beating Anjali Kerber. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.